The Apostle Paul's greatest desire was to get to know our loving Savior, Jesus Christ, much better. Would you like to know him? Listen to this devotional.
That I May Know Him, a devotional by Ellen G. White. A strong defense against temptation. For in that he himself hath suffered being tempted, he is able to succor them that are tempted. Hebrews 2, verse 18. Our Redeemer perfectly understood the wants of humanity. He who condescended to take upon himself man's nature was acquainted with man's weakness. Christ lived as our example. He was tempted in all points as we are, that he might know how to succor all who should be tempted. He has trodden the path of life before us and endured the severest tests in our behalf. He was a man of sorrows and acquainted with grief. Christ took upon himself our infirmities, and in the weakness of humanity, he needed to seek strength from his Father. He was often to be found in earnest prayer, in the grove, by the lakeside, and in the mountains. He has enjoined upon us to watch and pray. Without a deep sense of our need of help from God, there will be but little earnest, heartfelt prayer for divine aid. Our hearts are deceitful, our foes many and vigilant. If we neglect to fortify a single weak point in our character, Satan will assail us at that point with his temptations. He is constantly plotting the ruin of the soul, and he will take every advantage of our careless security. Christ came to our world to engage in single-handed combat with this enemy of man, and thus to wrest the race from Satan's grasp. In the accomplishment of this object, he withheld not his own life. And now, in the strength that Christ will give, man must stand for himself, a faithful sentinel against the wily plotting foe. Says the great apostle, walk circumspectly. Guard every avenue of the soul. Look constantly to Jesus, the true and perfect pattern, and seek to imitate his example, not in one or 2 points merely, but in all things. We shall then be prepared for any and every emergency. He whose mind loves to dwell upon God has a strong defense. He will be quick to perceive the dangers that threaten his spiritual life, and a sense of danger will lead him to call upon God for help and protection.